Guys, chegou o momento precioso que eu tava esperando desde que o Leon Butcher postou tempos atrás no Twitter, dias atrás, que ele faria essa entrevista. Desde então eu tô esperando ela e o Leon Butcher entrevistou o Bipo. Finalmente vamos falar de coisa boa depois de assistir o bastidor da Loud, né? A gente viu, mano, a oratória perfeita que ele tem, a visão perfeita e acima da média que ele tem. Agora ver 50 minutos dele, mano, não sei. Deus realmente me ama. Já deixa aí o salve para o Tobas. Partiu. Guys, a legenda...
Esse vídeo aqui não vai estar em português, então recomendo que você ative ali as legendas nativas do YouTube. É só você clicar ali em CC, ativou as legendas e é isso aí. Valeu!
Fala pessoal, beleza? Butcher aqui. Estamos para uma entrevista super especial com um cara que, né, vocês não estão cansando de ver, pelo que a gente está entendendo, então a gente convidou o Bipo para vir trocar uma ideia mais extensa, assim, sobre algumas coisas que ele tem, sobre visão do nosso cenário, mas também algumas opiniões pessoais sobre a carreira dele, sobre coisas que ele tem feito. So, Bipo, great having you here. Did you understand anything that I introduced us?
Yeah, something about getting sick of seeing me.
Awesome. Bipo, so you guys advanced to the next stage of LTA, and also the other North American teams also did. That means that LTA South is out of the tournament, and that sparked some great discussions in Brazil regarding what we can do to get better and things like that. A lot of tough opinions that we've been seeing from pros and streamers and co-streamers, ex-pro players and things like that. So playing against Brazilian teams and seeing like how the scene has been developing the past few years, I mean, not as closely as people who live in here, but what are some thoughts that you see on Brazilian teams and Latin American teams as well?
Yeah. Honestly, the players individually are not that bad. I think a lot of people, think that the difference is in player skill. I think it's not. There is, sure, when push comes to shove, but I think that the biggest difference is
mentalidade.
The best players on Brazilian teams don't get treated like it. Like I'm a simple man. Brazilian teams don't get treated like it. Like I'm a simple man, like when I watch someone play League of Legends, there's two things I want to see. The first one, when I look at the characters move around the map, I can tell who is your king. We used to have a joke in Fnatic, like the president or the king. That is our guy. We always run towards the president. We always run towards the king. It's always about him. In the draft, sometimes that will be your Azir, sometimes it will be your AD carry, sometimes it will be your top laner. But what I'm trying to say is when I just look at the map and I fast forward and I just look at the minimap, just the minimap, I see all these people, whenever they have free time, they run towards that guy. Always. That doesn't happen. They're best players, they just get treated like another player. There's no emphasis on helping that person.
Entendi.
So how do you see and I remember way in the past when Dyrus said I just won the opportunity to play League of Legends because he was playing weak side after weak side and things like that. But nowadays we kind of don't see very much these hard weak side, I think. So how do you see this movement of roles beginning to happen within every lane?
It's just a matter of where your jungler is usually. Your jungler and support will always dictate the pace of the game. I talked to Brance yesterday and I told him, hey, right now you guys have no flash. You already won 2v2, you did a good job, you killed people. Your jungler is walking towards his wolves and the enemy gives you an angle to Rakan W in and you take it? Why? Why do you take that? What, do you not feel happy with one kill? Do you need 2 kills? Do you need 3 kills?
Cara, isso é muito verdade sobre o Brasil.
Why don't you feel confident with the lead you have? And why don't you feel confident that you can wait for your teammate to come and make your lead bigger? Because when you fight 3v3, it's probably better odds than 2v3.
Cara, isso é muito verdade sobre o Brasil, tá ligado? Muito verdade sobre muitos times brasileiros. Nossa senhora, deu, mano, dor de cabeça aqui. O cara, guys, o brasileiro ele tá em constante busca pela kill, por matar. vantagem, etc, 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 sede de sangue. Ele matou um, ele não pensou, porra, já matei um, eu já tenho vantagem o suficiente, tá ligado? O meu jungle está nos lobos, não sei onde está o jungle inimigo. Vou tentar matar o suporte deles e vou tomar o W de Rakan, como ele citou ali, né? E morrer. Acontece muito.
People are inclined to take every opportunity because that's what you practice.
Sure.
Solo queue, you play solo queue, and the guy, like, you get a kill on him, he fights you again, let's kill him again. You get ganked, it's fine, I'll try and fight him again next round. In competitive, it's not that simple. It shouldn't be that simple.
Sure. But like when we talk about Brazilian players, and be that like mobile players, be that FPS players, people tend to say that Brazilian players, they are both instinctive players and passionate players.
Yeah.
Is that what you want on a pro player?
Of course, that's what I am. If you watch me play, do you really think I don't fight people? I fight people all the time.
But do you have to, keep yourself from doing certain actions?
Yeah.
Because you gave an example, like, I could kill this guy as Volibear, but why would I do that if my team might need a TP in 30 seconds to fight?
Why? Like, the thing is...
So you're not following your instincts.
Well, the thing is the first question is it guaranteed? Like, if I go on him, am I going to kill him? 80%, 70%. I'm already really strong. I'm 30 CS lead, I have a full level lead. Why do I need to take a 70% chance to win when I know?
Mano, isso é bizarro. Mano, isso daqui é ridiculamente verdade. Vou explicar para vocês. O que ele está dizendo é, eu já tenho muita vantagem. Tô 30 de farm na frente. A minha próxima play é 100% de certeza? Não. Ela é 70? Ela é 80? Por que eu devo arriscar? Por exemplo, por que o Titã daria aquele E dentro da jungle, sendo que ele tinha Baron? Se ele, por exemplo, tem o Barão, seguir o setup, tudo bonitinho, gostosinho, era garantido, por que ele daria esse E? Qual é a porcentagem dele matada naquele E dentro da jungle inimiga nos lobos? Percebe? Percebe o que o cara quis dizer? E tipo, o Titã foi um exemplo meramente ilustrativo, mas a gente vê diversos jogadores que têm esse perfil aqui no nosso Brasil e fica flipando e flipando e flipando mesmo tendo a vantagem.
So if I patiently wait for my Sejuani, anything on our screen will die.
Sure.
Anything. That's exactly what I did. I sat in my lane and pushed and hovered, and I just got information. That's all I did. Until my Sejuani came to me. The second Sejuani is in my lane, enemy mid dies. I take bot tower. So it's not like I'm not trying to kill people. I'm calling. I want to kill him. I'm really strong. I want to look. And my teammates will tell me, yeah, works for me. Or, no, let's wait, because we need to first help the other people that are weak.
But don't you agree that this happens because you're holding your instinct? And what I'm saying is Brazilian players would rather take that chance because of their instincts.
I mean, that's just excuses.
É.
You're a professional. You watch the best football.
Ah, cara, isso... Puta que pariu, que bom ouvir isso, cara. Que bom ouvir isso. Você é jogador profissional, é só desculpa. Quando eu critiquei o Burdol de ter uma performance pífia, a comunidade ridícula tava dizendo o cara foi campado. Foda-se. Foda-se que ele foi campado. A performance dele continuou sendo pífia. Ele foi forçado a performar pífio? Foi. Dane-se, ele é jogador profissional, faça melhor. Ele recebe para isso, ele joga para isso, ele está em constante treino para isso. Não existe essa ladainha de mas não sei o que, ele foi campado, mas é meu instinto, mas não existe. É profissional, jogador profissional. Não existe essa ladainha, cara. A comunidade, muitas das vezes, tem esse roleplay de querer adotar jogador. Tipo, mano, pega jogador e leva ele pra sua casa. Ele joga aí da sua casa e etc. É melhor. Porque ficar com tipo... ele foi campado. Ele não tava com a Champion Pool dele. Forçaram ele no draft. E daí? E daí? Tá ligado? O que eu tenho a ver com isso? Que ele foi forçado no draft. Tá ligado? Dane-se. Ele jogue melhor. Melhore. Se esse é o caso, melhore. Melhore na situação de ser campado e ser um bom jogador. Melhore na situação de ser focado no draft e ser um bom jogador. É isso.
In the world, they have the ball, they have a goal in front of them. How
Obrigado,
many of
Pipo.
them are just going to run at it 1 versus 3? 0. So why is it different in football? Why not wait for your teammates and pass the ball? Why not help them create a good opportunity for you?
But one would argue that like the great players, like I don't know, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo,
Yeah.
or things like that, Neymar, they are known also because
Jogadores
they
grandes,
rather
Neymar não,
take some
calma lá.
opportunities on things
Yeah.
that aren't guaranteed.
Yeah, when they need to.
Sure.
If the score is 2-0, do you think they're doing that? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't watch enough football to know, but I'm willing to bet money right now. They don't do that. When the game is 2-0, let's see.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. When initially you got the lead, you got the kill on Varus,
Beleza, eu tô
you
amando
got the kill,
essa
you played well,
entrevista.
you played the lane swap well, or you traded well, you got kills. I remember I watched Pain Gaming. They got 2v2 kills every game, no?
Yeah.
There you go. That's the risk you took. How to take that lead and walk it further, that's what I'm talking about. You already got, like,
Licença
that was
não,
your pattern,
vantagem,
that was,
tá-
that was
tava
you
errado.
getting a lead for your team. We're playing a strategy game, you know, not Street Fighter.
Yeah. Sure.
So if you, the next time you fight to the death when you are 1-0, when you are outnumbered, that makes you stupid. Why would you? If you can die because you are getting tower dove or there's pressure, like that's a different topic. Maybe you have to squeeze. You made a mistake. Okay.
Não,
you
não,
didn't
não.
realize. They're gonna come
O
and die.
Guerreiro
Fuck, I have
disse
to fight.
ali no chat que Minerva é baba-ovo de gringo. Você nunca viu eu sendo vira-lata em nenhuma hipótese. E se eu xinguei brasileiro e exaltei gringos, era com muitas ênfases e muitas ressalvas. Mas o que esse cara está falando, nenhum outro jogador brasileiro falou e abordou esse tema tão lógico e racional antes. Pode parecer tudo óbvio. Você ouvindo aí é óbvio. É óbvio que era ridículo, não sei o quê. Mas não acontece.
Fight right now is my best chance. Better to fight 2v2 and then someone gank me than wait for the get dove 2v3. Sure, no problem. But when you are seeing them 2v2 and all you need to do is kill the minions so that they can't make a play on you while your jungler is on the opposite side, just kill the minions and wait for him. The jungler needs to farm too. This is the thing. Everyone agrees the jungler needs to farm scamps. Right?
Sure.
I think so. I always tell people that that are low elo, I tell them, first thing I ask them is, what is your job as a top laner? What is your job as a mid laner? What's your job as an AD carry? And what's your job as a jungler? And the reality is it's farm. You have a jungler in the jungle because you need someone to farm those camps because you earn more money as a team.
Yep.
That's why there's no two top laners. That's why in bot lane, AD carries get played. Do you know why? AD carries don't need levels as much as they need money.
Yep.
Money scales better than experience for them. Both are good, of course.
Cara,
But really, when it comes down to it, you
toma,
have to choose
sério.
who would want to put an AD carry bot lane because they want
tô tendo orgasmos
gold more than
múltiplos
XP. So having
aqui.
someone hold their hand and make sure they get gold. Good.
Sure.
So from this perspective, everyone's farming.
Tipo-
and your jungler goes bottom side to farm.
Cara, o que ele está dizendo aqui sobre jungle é uma coisa que nenhum brasileiro tem. Nenhum brasileiro entende que jungle precisa farmar. Nenhum brasileiro não. Estou sendo extremo. Mas poucas pessoas percebem que o jungle farmar é necessário. Tipo, não passa na cabeça. Para muitas pessoas, o jungle tem que gankar, da base ou morrer dando dive, volta para a base, vai para a lane, ganka. O José Deodo da LTA Sul foi o jungle mais sólido. E ele é exatamente assim, tá ligado? Ele vai gankar ou vai dar dive quando é 100% de certeza. Entendeu? 100% de certeza. A forma como o Brasil, não todo, tá? Eu fui extremo ali, confesso. A forma como o Brasil enxerga a jungle é uma coisa ridícula, sem cabimento algum.
And the enemy jungler goes topside to farm. And you decide to trade all in when your jungler is bottom side and their jungler is topside. How can you justify that? Even if you kill him. Why? Is the game lost? Are you feeling like there's pressure? Do you feel like if I go into mid game and I don't make a play right now, my champion's going to be weaker? Okay. You can make up reasons. I don't think they're wrong. Sometimes I do it too. It's like, I picked counter matchup, but I need to kill him, and I played early game poorly. So if I don't fight right now, I'm going to get outscaled. This is my last chance. You know, I have to fight right now. And then you can talk with your teammates and be like, hey, in this situation, I need you to skip some camps and come and help me because otherwise the game is going to be really bad.
Sure.
And then you will forward that discussion and you will say, then maybe you should counter, like play a different counter because I think this is not necessary. Like my champion scales really well. I don't want to do this. And
Yeah.
you see how, talking to myself, I can find a consistent pattern to create problem solving. This is the problem. He agreed with me. He's like, why would I fight here?
How does this line of thought transitions to a thing that I think every emergent region feels, that when we are playing on the lead, we feel uncomfortable, almost uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then when, it's one play and all our 2K gold lead goes away, and then to take 2K away from the other team, it seems
Bip tem
like
muita coisa para falar
such
sobre.
a struggle,
It makes sense. I think it's because people do not practice trust. You know what trust is? Trust is knowing that he will come and help me. People are religious in Brazil, right?
People are what? Sorry.
Religious.
Yeah.
They love Jesus
Mostly.
Christ, they love God. The number one thing you learn is you have to wait. He will give it to you when he wants to.
Puta que pariu,
I'm not
eu
saying
tô
that your
amando
best
isso daqui.
player is God, but he's your king.
Sure.
You need to trust him.
Cara,
He'll come and give back to
amém,
me.
amém.
How he does that, it's up to him. We can even talk about it. Ideally, as you play together, you will talk about how you do that.
Tá ensinando
My point is people
LOL,
don't
falando sobre LOL
create situations
e sobre
where
Deus.
they can receive.
Bizarre.
I see.
They play in a way where they leave the opportunities for them are not easy to take. It's hard to see.
And when like, what clicked in you to, make yourself available for coaching Brazilian players?
I mean, I've already talked about this, but I want people to be proud of the region they support.
Sure.
This is how people watch. This is how money enters the scene. I mean, that's how it worked for me, at least. I was in Fnatic. We had good Worlds performances. G2 also had good Worlds performances. Everyone watched the LEC. Shitload of money came into the scene. That's longevity right there.
Yeah.
Number one, money, obviously. I'm not made of, I'm made of flesh and blood too. I needed to. So I would like there to be a sustainable environment for everyone. I would like esports to continue going because I enjoy it. It's my passion. I would love to work for another 20 years in esports. And if I can help some people understand that it's not complicated to play well. It's complicated to make miracles happen. And this is why a lot of people, when they look at Faker compared to Chovy, people will say, Chovy, he's really good, but. What's that but? That but is that he doesn't make X Factor.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
O molho.
And this is what I do with all the players I talk to, right? All the players I talk to this about. It's like, pick any pro player you want. Any of your favorite pro player that is tier 1, performs at Worlds, and plays well Asian teams. Anyone you want. Bin, Zeus, Chovy, Faker, Owner, whatever. Any of these players. AD Carry, Gumayushi, Carry. Pick any.
F, Goma.
I'll go through the game with you. Any game. You will see. They wait for each other.
Sim.
They always
There's
play
a sense
together.
of unity, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying, is the team plays as one piece. And when someone deviates, there's a good reason for it, or it's a mistake. And if you make a mistake, that's okay. The rest of the team will rally around that player, and they will wait for that player to respawn.
And like team longevity, teams being 1 year, 2 years together, that doesn't connect immediately to having team unity, right?
I mean, I think you can build a very good team structure in about a month, 6 weeks.
Sure.
That's what we did in Fnatic in 2021. I think as a jungler, it was much easier for me because when you're playing jungle, you're farming jungle moments, so I can look at my lanes. As a top laner, I'm fighting these guys.
Yeah.
So much more focus needed to lane,
Yeah.
So it's like hard for me to look what other people are doing in their lane. But at the same time, if I'm disciplined, I can show you what I'm doing and lead by example. And again, the Volibear game I played, I really implore any pro player that's listening to watch that game. I didn't do anything. I'm way stronger than that guy. I didn't force my jungler to come bot and kill him. I didn't force my mid laner to roam and kill him. I didn't force my team to come and make plays. No, I let them just do your thing. I'm farming for the first 15 minutes. My first kill came in 15 minutes when I flashed on Talia and killed her. How come 15 minutes later I'm tower diving their team 1v4? I don't need to get 10 kills to do that.
Sure.
I just farmed really well. I denied him XP when I could. I slow pushed my waves. And every time I had a timing, I didn't hit him under his tower all the time. Sometimes I did, to remind him, like, hey, it's still possible. I might die.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. But 90% of the moves I made were into river, and I dropped the ward and tried to find Maokai. I dropped a ward, tried to find Maokai. I dropped a ward, tried to find Maokai. Why? Because when Maokai gets spotted, the rest of the map opens up.
Sure.
And I held my TP for the longest time until they all came into my side, and then I TP'd on the wave and I said, come and get me. Try me. If they want 1v4 me there and try to dive me, I will welcome them, and I will try to fight. And I might die for free, but that's a fight I'm willing to take.
Sure. So when we talk about like the coaching Brazilian players, there's a huge concern that we had, which is like pro players that, especially those that have been around for some time now, even if they don't win anything like internationally, they have ego. You know, it's a human thing to have ego. So maybe players that could have had you as a coach wouldn't send you a message because it was like, nah, I mean, why would I need it? You know. Sure. So we're surprised by how many people sent you a message or things like that, or were you expecting more or maybe different players?
I will say that a lot of tier 2 players reached out to me, and I ended up just working with them because I didn't see that many tier 1 players. I mean, I think there are a good few, honestly. Like, I don't know. I only have I have one.
Eu não vou nem comentar porque eu tô muito inflamado hoje.
I will say that a lot of tier 2 players reached out to me, and I ended up just working with them because I didn't see that many tier 1 players. I mean, I think there are a good few, honestly. Like, I don't know. I only have I have 1 p.m. and 11 p.m. available because that's the best I can do.
Sure.
So, from my perspective, I think it doesn't matter. The people that I help, whether they're in tier 2 and tier 1, they will show people what it's like. If they practice hard, they will show the rest, and they will realize, oh fuck, if I don't play like this guy does, I'm gonna lose my job.
Would you say like I know that Toots and then Brains sent you a message. Any other tier 1 players sent you a message?
I don't really want to talk about it because again, like what I need is not people to. I'm not. How do I say this?
Ele não quer causar o caos.
I am not the person that has all the solutions. Sure. I'm just going to tell people what I think will help them.
Sure.
If I thought that I was so good that I can fix everyone and they are stupid to talk to me,
the savior,
then I would be absolutely like there would be something wrong with me.
Sure.
I am just trying to help people that want to be helped. If you're on my team, there is no ego. I will fight you until your ego crumbles. That's what I always do. I will always apologize to my teammates if I made a mistake.
Sure.
Always. And I will always tell my teammates, what the fuck are you doing?
But that's the thing. Like, do you know? I forgot his name. Oh my god. But there is like an Asian coach that a lot of Brazilian players they hire him to do personal coaching.
Sure.
And they have been doing this for a lot of time.
Sure.
For years and years. So how come this guy that is a great guy? He has international titles and things like that. How come they do 2-3 years of coaching with him?
Yeah.
And they can't seem to break the barrier to improve internationally. Like, it's the same thing. Like, you can, help with one coaching session,
The thing is, I'm not trying to coach people to get better individually. I'm trying to coach them to make their team better.
Okay.
And when I'm talking to people, I'm not like, hey, you should do this because this guy does that.
Fato. Por isso que quando nós vimos os bastidores da Loud, ele falou sobre confiança em equipe, tudo isso. Porque, guys, melhorar o cara individualmente é uma coisa muito extensa. Aí, vamos supor, para melhorar individualmente é uma conversa que vai para outro caminho. Qual seria esse caminho, Minerva? Matchup. Por exemplo, brasileiro sabe como joga matchup de... ilustrativo, tá? Timo Mid contra Shyvana? Ah, não sabe? Como você acha? É assim, assim, assim? Então, tipo, o individual é uma coisa muito extensa, tá ligado? E requer muito tempo. O time também, mas não é tão assim, tá ligado?
I'm telling him, hey, if you do the same thing every game.
Consistency, you mean?
If you do the same thing every game, it's not even about consistency. Oh, it's a part of it. Yeah, if you're consistent every single game, people will start trusting you. I'll give you an example. Everyone loves football here. I love giving football examples because I don't understand shit about it, and I'm waiting for the moment someone tells me you're wrong. But if you're a striker and you run in and try to make a goal, you know your team is supporting you. Are you expecting your defender to come and join you? No.
No. Yeah.
You're expecting him to sit back, relax, and wait for the ball to come back and defend. Now, what if your defender does join and he keeps doing it? 50-50, 50-50. Every time you try and score a goal, the guy runs in and tries to defend. What's going to start happening?
You're gonna take goals.
No, you're not going to take goals. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But you know what's going to start happening in that striker's head? Every time the ball comes to him, he's going to do this.
Caralho.
Is someone defending? Can I go?
Caralho, viado.
Exactly. This guy is going to be like, can I go for the ball? Is he coming? Like, is he defending? Is someone defending? Should I go defend? How can you focus on scoring a goal?
Sure.
How, if you have one eye behind you, looking what's happening behind you, can you fully focus on the people in front of you and try to score a goal? It's not possible. And this is what I mean with consistency. This is what I'm trying to teach people.
Sure.
Trust is built from you being there every time. When I was jungling, I was a bit of a dictator. I told my teammates this: 3 rules. Tell me 2 waves in advance, 2 minion waves in advance, I'll be there no matter what. I'll be there. Tell me 1 wave in advance, 50-50. Tell me on the same wave, fuck you. Figure it out. I'm not coming.
Sure.
And this created a bond where my teammates were forced to play. Think 2 waves in advance. Do we have a dive? Do we have an opportunity? Can we do something together? Or am I just recalling? Are we playing for the neutral objective? Everyone on my team had to think 2 waves in advance if they wanted my help. And if no one made a call, I would say, after these 2 camps, which roughly, if you farm 2 jungle camps, takes like 45 seconds. I don't know, maybe 30. You know, I would tell my teammates, I'm coming down, I'm doing this and this, and I want to look for something. Or I want to recall. I'll recall by my item, and then I'm going to go there. Or I'm going to do these 2 camps, and I want to make a play on your lane. It looks good. And we talk. And you know what happens? People trusted that when they waited for me to come, I would be there. It's that simple. And people didn't sit there and they were like, sometimes he comes, sometimes he doesn't come. Like, I don't know, maybe, like, I don't understand what he's thinking. Everyone understands what I'm thinking. It's very simple. If you give me enough time to farm my camps and be efficient and figure it out, I will be there. Even if I made a mistake myself and I don't farm the camps because I'm wasting my time, I will still come.
Sure.
I will never put you in a position where you cannot trust my word. And at some point, people always trusted me. And when they said, I need you here on this wave, they knew that all they need to do is wait for that minion wave to come and focus on their own gameplay, because they know I'm there.
Let me swap to some. It's close to what you're saying, and it's a broad question. I want to see your take on that.
Sure.
But is Bwipo the main character?
Never. I've always been a team player. I always made other players play better on my team.
Doesn't that make you the main character?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if you want me to be. I just don't.
Não. Quem é o personagem principal? O Armin ou o Eren Yeager? Oxe, é isso daqui. Tudo bem que o cara que ajuda tem ali o seu devido protagonismo, entendeu? Tem o seu devido protagonismo. Beleza. Que Levi vai tomar no rabo. Mas é bacana a gente ouvir ele falar essa parte, porque ele seria o Gravitar deles. Percebe? Tudo o que ele está dizendo leva a gente a crer que ele seria o Gravitar deles dentro do ambiente de equipe, né? O cara que não é o protagonista, que não faz o gol e que ajuda todas as outras pessoas, na mentalidade que ele disse aqui agora nesse corte, tá ligado? Você é o personagem principal? Não, eu ajudo outras pessoas. Porém, entretanto, todavia, a leitura dele, mesmo ele sendo o Gravitar, e essa é a minha maior crítica ao Greve, que tá tudo bem você ajudar a sua equipe, tá tudo bem você ser o cara que mano, vai ajudar todo mundo, mas você não pode esquecer do seu, porque você esquecer do seu é uma fraqueza do seu time. Percebe o que eu quero dizer? Tipo, tudo isso, na verdade, é pra fazer uma crítica ao Gravitar, que é muito o que eu bato na tecla, falando para ele e falando aqui para vocês também. É legal você ajudar o seu time, é legal você colocar todo mundo pra cima, é ótimo, isso é um ponto positivo. Mas, se você esquecer do seu próprio, isso vai se tornar uma fraqueza e, no longo prazo, uma coisa muito negativa. Olha ele aí no chat, um beijo, Greve, eu falo muito porque eu amo você, Dog, você sabe disso. E você não tem ego, né? Então posso criticar. Um beijo para você. Ó, e para a bunda aí e assista esse cara falar, viu? Assista esse cara falar. Eu vou até voltar aqui nesse take, ó. Olha aí, olha aí.
And it's a broad question, I want to see.
Pra você essa, hein, senhor Armin?
Is Bwipo the main character?
Never. I've always been a team player. I always made other players play better on my team.
Doesn't that make you the main character?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if you want me to be. I just don't consider myself to be. I always look at my teammates and I think, what is the best thing I can do to help this guy play the game?
Olha aí.
Like when I watch this guy play the game, I sit down and I'm watching him and he's just playing solo queues. Like, okay, so this is what he likes to do. How can I help him?
But have you found yourself in a situation where you didn't have the answer as well?
No, because I would ask him, what do you want? I mean, sure, yeah, first, and then I would sit down and be like, so...
É um cara simples, de fato.
I want to help you, but I don't know how. So what do you want to play? And how do you want to play? And I would just sit there, okay,
But
sounds good.
do you expect for him to have the answer as well?
Well, I hope so.
If he doesn't have the answer?
Well, then what the fuck is he doing? What?
Caralho.
You play solo queue game. Right now, I go play solo queue game and I lock in a champion. I'm going to lock in champions that I think are good. There's three types of things you can do in solo queue. One, you lock in a champion because you think it's good and you want to win. One, you lock in a champion because you have fun playing it and you don't care if you win or lose. And three, you're trolling.
Eu escolho a 3,
Hopefully.
a maioria das vezes.
They have some champions that they think are good and they know they want to play. I always say this, gun to your head. Gun to your head, what do you want to, tomorrow? You have a gun to your head, what are you going to play to win? What's it going to be? And then they're like, I don't know.
Nossa, mas tipo, eles gostam de trazer essa situação de ter uma arma na sua cabeça, né? Meu Deus, quando eu ouço isso, eu sinto até um calafrio, cara. O coach de qual equipe? Da Liquid, falou lá no CBLOL, que na LTA Sul, né? Para a Fogueta, que ele falou para o top laner dele, que era o Impact, que tinha uma arma apontada para a cabeça dele. Qual campeão tanque é o melhor aqui? Você precisa responder. Poxa. No caso do Minerva ia ser, tem uma xereca na sua cara. Ah, vai tomar no cu, mano.
You want me to choose for you?
Ó a bizarrice.
You're going to die playing a champion that I picked for you. Who the fuck wants to do that? No one. So pick a champion. If you lose, you will die. If you win, you live. What are you going to play? For you, right now, do you play League of Legends?
Yeah.
What are you going to play? You going to make me pick for you?
Yeah. So I think some confidence, like Victor.
A voz do Butcher até, mano, ficou mais baixa. Ele se cagou ali, viu?
Looks pretty good. Doesn't need bans. Okay, we don't need bans. So what do I draft around Victor? Victor really likes having champions that can engage because he does a lot of damage. Okay. I'm looking for Ornn, Sion. I'll make sure you have one of those in your team. Maybe our jungler can play Sejuani, or, you know, and this is the thing, if the jungler is like, I really like playing Lee Sin, and it's like, oh, Lee Sin and Victor, ooh, maybe not the best mid jungle. It's fine, I'll play Ornn, and we'll play Victor, Ornn, Lee Sin, and Lee Sin will make sure early game is good, and late game, you will have me. I will be there, I'll play Ornn, you'll play Victor, we'll win together. And that's what I'm saying, it's like, even you don't even play professionally, you can give me a champion. Like, you tell me professional players can't own up to what champion they want to play? Everyone has their answer. You just need to ask the right questions. I have my answer too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have my answers too. I can tell you what I want exactly. That's why I made the post, you know. Like, I made a little graphic and I said, like, this is what I think right now.
Sure.
That changed.
And yeah, talking about like this and some of the things that you mentioned, from my perspective, I think you're a player that, you know, you're disruptive. You bother a lot of people. And in Brazil currently, a lot of people are giving you a lot of praise because you know you also want to help the scene, help the players. You have your personal views on a lot of things that we are needing right now, but it doesn't seem that way, or at least that much, in North America, for example.
I don't want to help North America, you mean?
No, that people see you in a different light than Brazil is currently seeing you.
I mean, I'm a controversial player. I know I have my moments.
Sure.
Stress is the enemy. I don't play well when I'm stressed. This is why I have my system. Because when I'm stressed and I don't know what's happening, I start making mistakes. I flip it. You know, whatever. I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm just going to fight right now because I feel good about it. Ah, fuck. Shouldn't have done that. That's the reality of it. The way I've been consistent over the course of my career has always been the same. The pattern has been the same. It took me a long time to realize this.
Yeah, I mean.
Don't get me wrong.
Personal growth, right?
Exactly. It took me a long time to realize this. But the matter of the fact is that I'm at my best when I know what to expect.
Sure.
From my teammates. I don't even care what the enemy team is going to do. I know what to expect from my teammates. I know which way I can fight, which way I shouldn't fight, what matchups I'm going to play, what matchups my teammates are going to play. Do we want to go late game?
Lembram o que eu critiquei nos bastidores da Loud? Porque eles ficam dando ênfase na Cloud9, Cloud9, Cloud9. Uma verdadeira equipe não liga para o oponente, não fala sobre o oponente, não fala. Vocês acham que tipo o SKT chega lá e fala sobre Gen.G ou sabe Deus o que, o Weibo ou tipo whatever? É sobre o ecossistema deles, tá ligado? Dá sim para você falar sobre outras equipes. Não precisamos entrar em um extremo, tá ligado? Mas o que eu quero dizer é, a ênfase tem que ser na sua equipe. A ênfase tem que ser nos seus jogadores. A outra equipe está acertando em determinadas coisas, beleza, você pode fazer um teórico e você pode mostrar. Olha, eles estão mandando muito bem em Smite, sei lá. Não luta 50-50. Boof, volta e fala sobre a sua equipe. O que vocês estão acertando, o que precisa errar, o que fizeram de bom, o que erraram novamente, se foi em equipe, se foi não sei o quê. Percebem o que eu estou falando? O que ele disse foi... ele dá ênfase na equipe dele, nele mesmo, dele ter controle, dele ver a equipe dele, a equipe dele. E jogadores dele, né?
Mid-game. Do we want to fight? Do we not want to fight? And I'm open for anything.
Sure. But who holds you accountable when, you're stressed?
Me?
Yourself.
My
Not the coaching staff or the
Deixa eu voltar porque eu tava lendo o chat.
Want to go mid-game? Do we want to fight? Do we not want to fight? And I'm open for anything.
Sure. But who holds you accountable when, you're stressed?
Me?
Yourself.
My bad.
Not the coaching staff or the
My bad. Yeah, that was really bad. Yeah, I agree. My coaching staff would be like, "Oh, what are you doing here? Like, so stupid." I'm like, "Yep, I agree. I have no ego about this." It's like, you know what? You're right. Sometimes I'll be like, "Well, I made this mistake because I didn't know what else to do. I would like help. Can someone help me understand what I need to do?" And why not? Why would I have ego about it? Sometimes I'm just like, well, I have no fucking clue what I need to do. I'm sitting here playing Poppy and they're playing all this shit and I'm just like, I feel useless. What am I supposed to do? And then my team will be like, you need to do this and then you'll be useful. Okay, next game I sit there, I do that, and if I'm useful, I'll be like, nice, thank you. Fist bump. And if it still doesn't work, I'm like, I still feel useless. He'll be like, oh yeah, maybe let's change pick then. Or I'll be like, I don't want to play this. I feel a bit useless.
So it doesn't have to be a crusade every time that you face, like, because I feel like a lot of players feel that way. If we're going through a bump or a tough time or things like that, it always seems like a crusade to get out of this tough situation.
Yeah, I mean, people have ego. I don't know why, but they do. I have ego about the things I do really well. So, for example, there are certain drafts where I tell my team, you pick me this, don't worry about it. I'll take care of the rest. And there's drafts where I'm like, well, I'm not sure I'm not sure if I'm going to carry this. Like, I don't know exactly what you want or what I need to do. So let's figure it out. And when I'm playing a game where I know exactly what I need to do, there's room for feedback always. I'm not perfect. Veigar is not perfect. No one is perfect. That's what makes it fun. So if you think that you play good enough, what is good enough?
Sure.
You win a world championship, maybe. Are you going to walk off that stage saying, I'm done? I played perfect? I hope not. Because you didn't. No one plays perfect. You can get very close. But ultimately, in the back of your mind, you need to understand that there's always room for improvement. I've had games where I played, really well, really well. And still, there's room to improve.
When we talk about your beginnings like in North America, and then we remember like Team
Tipo,
Liquid had...
uma coisa que eu gostei quando foi perguntado sobre ego pra ele, eu nunca achei que jogador ou qualquer pessoa nessa vida não deveria ter ego. Zero ego. Acho que o ego faz parte. É certo ter ego. Só que ele disse o quê? Eu tenho ego sobre coisas que eu faço muito bem, extremamente bem. Existem drafts, né, como ele falou, em que eu vejo e eu falo, ok, eu cuido do resto. Acho justo. Acho justo ter ego nisso, entendeu? Só que ao mesmo tempo, ele não tem o ego pra tipo assim, ok, eu ainda posso melhorar. Eu posso, sempre há espaço para melhora, tá ligado? O problema do ego é quando ele te impede de determinadas coisas. Quando ele passa a ser um impeditivo, não sei exatamente, quando ele te limita e te coloca numa caixa, tá ligado? Quando, por exemplo, você fala, ok, isso daqui eu sou muito bom, não quero ver absolutamente ninguém falar nada para mim sobre isso. O meu prato de arroz e feijão é o melhor, foda-se todos. Você não tem o melhor prato de arroz e feijão. Entendeu? O ego faz parte.
You guys had Santorin, you guys had Hans, and then Bjergsen, so it's a lot of, great players, historical players for NA and from... And it didn't work out that well.
Yep.
And then you went to FlyQuest, and then you guys later swapped Jensen, and then, you said that maybe he wasn't improving that much.
Bruce.
But your highest point in North America was when you had, Inspired, which is kind of a veteran player, but 3 rookies. So did you need to have, it was about you having more control, or it was about your team also having less ego?
No,
about
it's
some
nothing about that.
things.
Like I said, the reason why I didn't do well in Team Liquid is because I didn't fight anyone. What do you want? I always come in swinging. What do you want? So how are we going to do it? What do you want? You want to win? Okay. How are we going to win? What are you going to do? And what can I do for you? And then fight, Have an argument. Arguing is good. As long as you have good intentions arguing. If you start yelling at each other like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Maybe you don't get anywhere. But sometimes it's necessary.
Sure.
But I would always argue with players, always. And in Team Liquid, I was just like, well, they know better. They've been in the NA for 10 years. I don't know. Biggest mistake of my life. I sat back, relaxed, and was an NPC. All I wanted to do was focus on my own game. And I didn't realize that it's really hard for me to perform well when I don't know what's happening. And I just didn't. There was no structure. There was no proactive plays that were being made. We didn't have a structure for how to pressure the game. We just didn't. And that to me is like, that makes me stressed. When I don't know where and how we're going to pressure, I get stressed. And I start making mistakes. And I stop focusing on playing well individually, and I start worrying about what other people are doing.
What do you do to get yourself out of the stress hole?
Talk.
Yeah,
tell people, guys, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I'm sitting in my lane, I'm farming, but I want to know where I'm using my tempo and what I'm using it for. Because the thing is, everyone will create tempo in League of Legends. It's a fact. It's how it works. What is tempo? It's free time. That's what people say. Tempo is free time. It's when the jungler is finished with his first clear, he has about 30 seconds before his golems respawn. A bit longer actually, about a minute. 3:30, you finish your grump. When your Krugs respawn? 4:15. So you have 45 seconds to kill your crab and look for a gank, and then you want to be back top lane. When you recall, it takes 8 seconds. When you walk back to golems on your side of the map, it takes you about 15 to 20 seconds. So realistically speaking, you have not much time if you want to be efficient. You have about 20 seconds to do something. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, part of the magic is also, breaking these rules, right?
Sure.
No,
but
like
what I'm trying
gank
to
for
say
gank and skipping base.
Absolutely, you can do that. But what I'm trying to say is fundamentally, this is tempo.
Sure.
And the next time you clear your jungle, you're going to be a bit faster because you bought more damage, and you're going to clear your jungle faster. That's how the game works. Even if you buy HP, your pet will deal more damage, and most HP buying junglers have health scaling damage. So my point is you get faster, and then you get more time. And with that time, again, what are you going to do with it? Where are you going to walk? Are you going to sit in a bush and press S and do nothing? Are you going to hover? What is it going to be? How are you going to use that time to progress the game? Because that's what your role is as a jungler. Same thing for support. The jungler does, the support and jungler are the same. Like they have tempo. They have time to go do something before they need to come back and farm or hold their AD carry's hand. And in my opinion, when you know exactly what that looks like, And I can close my eyes and I can listen to a team that can tell me through their communication where their jungler is moving, where their support is moving, and who is getting help. That for me is when I'm at my best. So that's what I try to create in my teams. This is how I worked in Fnatic. I can tell you right now, when it comes to bot side situations, I think there was no team that could have a profitable bot side situation against us. Whenever you fought us 3v3, scaling champions, early game champions, whatever it may be, we usually came out on top. And that's because I worked really hard with Hilly to make sure that whenever we were in situations where help was needed or help was possible, we would agree on how to do it. And that's why we're a bot side team. I can show you, I think 20 volts of me pathing bot every game. I would not deviate. But every situation that I pathed bot lane was profitable for us.
When was the last time that you felt stressed at FlyQuest?
Me, like last week, 2 weeks ago, I don't know, not last week, 2 weeks ago. Last week we did good. But 2 weeks ago I was like I don't feel like I know exactly what's going on. And it was 3 weeks ago, I think, when we lost. Yeah, it was just like I just didn't feel like we knew exactly what was going on. And we identified that because of Fearless, there's a lot of drafts that like people just aren't that sure about how to play.
Sure.
And that made me stress and play worse too. And I think other people too, by the way, like I'm talking about me from my perspective, I can promise you, everyone plays better when they know exactly in their mind what's happening.
Ah, com
Like I said,
certeza.
you're on the football pitch. If you know the ball's coming to you, the only thing you need to focus on is how you get that ball in the net. But if you're worried about how the ball is going to get to you, and you're playing the game for other people, thinking about what they're going to do, how can you be fully present when the ball is in your hands or feet? You cannot be. And that's why one must build trust. And how do you do that? It's by being consistent. It's by telling people, you died at bot lane, I'm still going to be here. You died top lane, I'm still going to be here. Like for example, grubs. The grubs, they spawn. And in a draft where I need to be at the grubs to do them with my team, it's my responsibility. I will be there no matter what. If I have to give up a full minion wave because I fucked up, I will give up that minion wave. And then I will discuss with myself or my coach or whoever, usually myself, I will tell myself, next time I play, I need to make sure I don't make this mistake so I don't give up the grubs, but I'm still going to be there. Even if I fall behind half a level. Because it's my fault. And I cannot have other people start doubting me for mistakes I made.
Sure.
And it's as simple as that. So I fundamentally believe.
Ownership and responsibility, right?
Exactly. And when everyone believes that, oh, he will be there no matter what. It's a bad game, he'll be there. It's a good game, he'll be there. That's when I think you can start talking about how you win together.
And I think one last topic that I want to point out is like in Brazil, a lot of people within the community, be that ex-pro players, co-streamers and the community itself, they seem to always point out that Brazilian players, they have so much ego without conquering anything like relevant internationally, that this also translates to them not respecting the coaches. So a common phrase in Brazil is Brazil doesn't have good coaches. So that's why you have to import Stardust. And then Stardust didn't manage to do a great job in Brazil. Now we have Seal, which LEC champion, and he's having a struggle as well. He came in, people saw him as the savior. He has all the answers, and now he's struggling a lot because Cade is not didn't perform that well this first split with him changing 4 pieces for 4 players from a finals last split. So people tend to talk bad a lot about Brazilian players and what their views on Brazilian coaches, and also talk bad about Brazilian coaches and people that are here coaching. And then you said this week that it might be it might be a good idea, in the future to come to Brazil and then have this experience. Who knows what the future holds? But what's your take on this view about the Brazilian coaches and the ego of pro players?
I haven't worked with anyone. Like I said, if anyone has an ego, I will fight them. I will argue with you for hours. I don't care. I need you to tell me why you're here. And if you can't explain why you're here, I will argue with you until you sit down and tell me. I can tell you this much, and this is a conversation I have with all my players. Whenever I feel like people don't want to do the work, I tell them this. You gave up growing up with your family, near your family. Your mother will not see you living and growing up in a city an hour away from you, an hour drive, see you every weekend. Neither will your father. Your family members will not see you every year. You may see them, you may not. You might not have time. You sacrifice not just your life, but the life of the people around you, and the fact that they do not have you in their life anymore. You are stuck playing this game every day, hours on end, and you can barely make time for anything other than this. And you are telling me that you can go to your parents and look them in the eye and tell me you can't tell me what you want? Try me. Simple as that. I want to know why you're here. Do you want to win? You want to be the best? Just tell me. You tell me, I'm just here because it's easy money. I was good enough to get pro, so
às vezes ter maturidade, quando eu falo maturidade, é muita coisa, tá ligado? Envolvida nisso. Maturidade profissional, maturidade como pessoa, é até meio assustador, né? Porque, tipo, você resolver as coisas numa sinceridade e nessa linha de raciocínio, ela é até meio bizarra, tá ligado? Até assusta, de fato. Eu acho que se ele tem um papo desse com algum jogador profissional, eu acho que o jogador se desmonta, tá ligado? E não se desmonta que eu digo, ele fica emocionalmente mal. Ele fica emocionalmente fudido, tá ligado? E é tudo muito óbvio, é tudo muito lógico. Mas às vezes, numa discussão ou em conversas, o nível é tão baixo que não tem espaço para essa maturidade de, tipo, você ouvir e você falar, e a outra pessoa ouvir você, e ter essa mútua certeza de que um tá ouvindo e o outro está falando. Entende? Pode parecer ridículo, porra, óbvio, isso é normal. Mas não é. Mas não é. Não é. Isso não é óbvio, isso não é o comum, isso não é o fácil, entendeu? Tipo, é verdade. Muita gente fala que pro player é vagabundo, etc. E dentro de alguns contextos até são. Mas quando você decide ser pró, você abre mão de muita coisa. Muita coisa na sua vida. A principal é a família. Entendeu? A principal é a família. Muitos pro players estão perdendo o seu crescimento ou determinados momentos da vida do pai e da mãe que nunca mais vão ter. Tá ligado? Nunca mais vai ter. Não vai voltar. Entendeu? Eu, por exemplo, fiz a escolha de morar aqui no Espírito Santo. Tô morando há 2 anos já. Por causa do Thiago, que estava em faculdade. Do primo. Eu estou perdendo momentos de vida dos meus sobrinhos que eu nunca mais terei. Eu tenho consciência disso, entendeu? Tá ligado? Então, o pro player, por perder tudo isso, ele abrir mão, cara, o mínimo que você tem que fazer é colocar todo o esforço, é entender exatamente isso, tá ligado? Mano, vai atrás, corre. Pra que esse ego? Pra que dificultar as coisas? Pra que, mano... Tipo, todos os problemas, eles parecem tão pequenos quando você coloca determinadas coisas em perspectiva e vai mudar tanto a sua maneira de pensar e de lidar com as coisas. Lembrando que, guys, a minha intenção aqui não é colocar em perspectiva trabalhos, estilos de vida. Eu estou pontuando como são a dos pro players. Ah, Minerva, mas a minha é pior. Beleza, mas o assunto não é a sua vida. Ah, Minerva, mas eu como bosta. Beleza, o assunto não é sobre comer bosta ou sobre você comer bosta. É sobre a vida dos pro players especificamente. A gente pode conversar sobre isso depois. Mas nesse caso aqui é isso, tá ligado? E eu concordo com o que o Lati e Kita comentou. Dinheiro fácil cria pessoas fracas. Concordo 100%. Muitos pro players, isso é um grandíssimo ponto, tá? Muitos pro players que hoje ganham, vamos colocar aí uma média de 10 a 60 mil reais, eles não entendem que eles nunca mais vão ter isso, a não ser nesse cenário. Nunca mais é foda falar, tá ligado? Mas que dificilmente terão novamente. Porque, veja bem, é uma coisa difícil e complicada, tá ligado? De você conversar e entrar nesse quesito. Mas quantas pessoas hoje no país, e eu digo de médicos extremamente bem-sucedidos, dermatologistas, que hoje em dia fazem 3, 4, 5 procedimentos estéticos diários e é uma fortuna isso. Quanto eles ganham? Tá ligado? Quanto tempo eles estudaram para isso? Quanto tempo um pro player vai ter que perder novamente para ganhar 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 mil reais? E mediante a isso, essa sua realidade, você tá, tipo, arrumando ego, briga com o jogador, briga com um coleguinha de time, briga com o treinador. Você tá, tipo, fazendo um corpo mole pra acordar 7 horas e ir pra academia, ou acordar 7 horas e treinar. Entende o que eu quero dizer? É uma oportunidade que você não vai ter novamente, ou espero que tenha, tá? Não quero amaldiçoar a pessoa, longe disso. Mas é algo extremamente único que você está passando na sua vida. Tipo, viva intensamente, tá ligado? Até mesmo as coisas negativas, o que talvez o Dinquedo esteja vivendo agora, que passou por uma baixérrima, né? Uma baixérrima. Viva isso, tá ligado? Usa como inspiração pra você spamar 50 solo kills e virar o melhor Azir e não o Azir boxeador. E por aí vai, tá ligado? Porque até mesmo em outras coisas, talvez você não tenha essa oportunidade em que você está tendo de performar pessimamente no seu trabalho e ainda ter o dia a dia amanhã. Talvez Tobas podem parar de spamar essas cabeças, viu? Quando um começa, é efeito mamada lá e todos vão. Talvez em outros trabalhos você não vai ter a oportunidade de performar mal e continuar vivo no outro dia. A sua cabeça vai rodar em praça pública, porque você vai ser demitido. Entendeu? Então, tipo... Cara, eu tô amando muito essa entrevista, porque ela não tá só falando sobre macro. Ele falou sobre macro. Quando ele falou sobre confiança, sobre esperar o jungler, sobre você entender que o seu mid carrega e você ter confiança neles, tudo isso é macro. Mas ele não tá só numa caixinha fechada nessa entrevista falando sobre macro. Ele tá também falando sobre a vida, tá ligado? E como você deve enxergar ela, entendeu? Ou minimamente se guiar por conceitos básicos.
I got paid for money. Okay.
Eu tô lendo todos vocês e o Tobas podem parar.
I will not be, or you're going to fuck off and not play on my team. Because it's that simple. All I want is people that want to be the best. That's all I care about. And I just need to know what you want. And the moment people concede and they say I want to be the best, then all right, let's sit down there.
Tipo, uma coisa que eu gosto de pensar, só um off-topic, tá ligado? Eu acho que todos nós, seres humanos, somos meio que um farol. E como todo farol, ele vai sempre apontar para um lugar muito forte. Quando você tem esse objetivo e você tá apontando para um lugar muito forte, tu não vai ligar para coisas pequenas, coisas minúsculas, tá ligado? O que eu quero dizer com isso? Quando você é pro player, isso não é brisa, guys, isso é verdade. Quando você é pro player e você tá pensando em ser campeão dentro do Brasil, você não vai ser um grandíssimo jogador, possivelmente. E quando eu falo grande jogador de League of Legends, eu falo sobre você ter reconhecimento internacional. Porque você ganhar dentro da sua região, às vezes nem vira muita coisa. O robô é 7 vezes campeão e possivelmente o cara mais criticado. O cara que ele aponta como um verdadeiro farol para reconhecimento internacional, sair do Brasil e jogar lá fora, ele não vai perder tempo com picuinhas. Entendem o que eu quero dizer e a minha analogia agora? Um outro exemplo, mas de vida e não de LoL, pra ficar um pouquinho mais claro para vocês. Dentro do meu relacionamento, eu tô apontado para ter família, crescer, harmonia, ter uma casa juntos, ter uma vida juntos, etc. Eu não tenho BO com ciúminho, eu não tenho BO com coisa minúscula, eu não ligo para isso. Tá ligado? Porque eu estou apontando, como um farol, como uma pessoa, em coisas muito lá na frente. As coisas minúsculas, eu não tô nem aí. Entendeu?
These guys
Só um exemplo.
make them the best. Because again, when I'm telling people, I do it the other way around. I tell them what I think will help them be the best in the world, and then I tell them, go look at Bin, go look at Zeus, look what they do. And lo and behold, they do everything I said, but you can also do it the other way around, you know? You can look at Zeus, you can look at Bin. Like, how come these guys are always at the World Championship, always World Finals, always playing? Because they play pretty good League of Legends, right? I believe that. I believe that the same players show up because they are doing something very right, very consistently. So just watch them play and copy them. I decided to go pro in Season 6 because I was watching LEC and I thought, holy fuck, I can do that. Like, what is that guy doing? I can do that better. Like, what the fuck was that?
Sure.
And I was so mad in Season 7 when there was 2 players that got hired that were not me, and they only lasted 1 year, and they got benched. God was kind to me. He gave me a better chance. Next year, he put me in Fnatic, and everyone knows the rest. But I was really mad. You know, I was like, how can these people get chances before me? But it didn't matter. I kept focusing on what I can do.
Sure.
And that's the thing. You need to focus on what you can do, not what you cannot do. And just look at what the best players do and copy what you can, and then build from there. These guys just farm their creeps, by the way. They move when it's good to move. They fight when it's good to fight.
What do you think about like mentality-wise? Because one might think that you know, if I accept the fact that I don't know anything, you know, I might have a weak mindset. And also, people in Brazil tend to, you know, look a lot to, let's put saviors as the word, you know. So like CEO came in with all his knowledge, and now Ripple is telling us all these things. They are the savior. But at the same time, we also have a lot of experience with what we call snake charmers. You know, so this person talks a lot. He talks, you know, it's pretty what he's talking about. I don't know what he really means though, you know. He doesn't have all the answers. So is that a weak mindset you have or not?
No, I mean, I think you should just, it's really simple. I think worrying about other things than playing well is just energy wasted. That's why I don't care what people think. Like, I'm here to help you. You want my help? Come and get it. You don't care? I'm not going to waste my energy. I'm not going to sit here being like, oh, like, I want to help everyone and make a difference for everyone. No, I want to help the people that want help. It's that simple. I don't have all the answers, but I can tell you, I can show you what the best players in the world do. And if you are going to sit down and practice the way they practice, because I can show you what you need to do to practice in that way, then you will play well. But I can't make you spend 1,000 hours practicing that way, because at the end of the day, it's in your head. It's your head. You need to want to do that. It's fucking hard. Trust me. It's really nice to play solo queue and you're like, haha, lol, let's run around and kill people. I love that. Me too. I love it too. I love playing League like that. But to sit down in my scrims and be like, I could kill him, but useless. Like, it doesn't help me practice. It's killing him. Like, it's because he made a mistake. Like, why would I kill him? It doesn't do anything for me. Like, next game, he will not make the mistake and I have a completely different situation. So I will choose to play the same situation that I know will happen. I will force this to happen. I force it to happen.
Would you say it's a mixture of, you know, humility, knowledge, and lack of ego?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't concern myself with this shit.
Sure.
People are so busy looking at the big picture. Dude, just play well.
Yeah.
Just focus on the game, man.
You don't need pretty words. Just
focus on the game. Show me that you can 10 games in a row. 10 games in a row. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. All I'm asking, 5 minutes. This is what I tell my players. If I'm a coach, I would say, 5 minutes. 5 minutes of laning phase. Show me that you can be on this wave every single game, ready with a slow push, ready to dive it. 10 games in a row. Show me. Prove it to me. I'm sitting next to you in solo queue. Prove it to me. Someone griefed you? Fine. Next game, do it again. Prove it to me. Until out of 100 games, 99 times, the wave is there. That's what I want, because you can do that, right? I can do that. I remember I was running Surdy, and he was playing Kennen against Sound, and he told me, wow, you can put the wave in the same place in the losing matchup? I'm like, of course. I know how many times you can basic attack me before I am in a bad condition. I know when I can bait you to hit me and push the wave into me and when I should not. I know when I need to recall on TP. I know. That's why you're a professional. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people don't practice like this. People practice like they're like, let's see what happens.
Sure.
I don't see what happens when I play a matchup I've practiced. I know what is going to happen. I can tell you exactly where that wave is going to be. And only time that is going to change if I got ganked, he got ganked, something happened. Like, that's the fun of the game. Things can change.
Sure.
But imagine playing chess and you don't have a fucking opening. You're just like, me. And the opponent blunders a piece and you're like, well, maybe I can checkmate him. And then you try to checkmate him and you lose the game. And it's just like, why? Just play the same pattern. All I want you to show me is that you can play the same pattern. So when I draft you that matchup and I pick you that matchup, I know what's going to happen. That's all I want. As a jungler, same thing. I told my teammates, I want the wave to be here in this moment every game. Because then I can start talking to you about what we're going to do with it. And that's what we did. Every game, every single game, my bot lane had the wave in the...
Vocês entenderam o que ele quis dizer aqui, né? Pouquíssimos jogadores brasileiros têm a disciplina disso. Mano, o que ele está dizendo é, durante os treinos, ele na verdade evita certas situações porque ele sabe que na hora H não vai acontecer. Não vai acontecer. Por exemplo, ele tava de vôlei contra Ambessa, contra Leviathan, FlyQuest contra Levi, né? Se o jungler dele perguntou para ele aonde vai estar a Minion Wave aos 3 minutos, ele vai dizer exatamente onde vai estar a Minion Wave aos 3 minutos. Isso quer dizer que, se a Ambessa trollar, ele não vai se importar necessariamente, tá ligado? Se o cara estiver dando o cu, beleza, você vai até lá, mata ele. De boa. Ele quer morrer, você mata. Mas até lá, a sua prioridade é jogar a Minion Wave assim como você falou para o teammate. Entendeu? Tipo, muitas pessoas pegam matchup counter, nem sequer sabe como joga matchup correta, jungler principalmente. Eu posso ter sido um jungle mediano, péssimo, whatever, esse não é o ponto. Mas eu sempre soube jogar a matchup. Exemplo disso foi que eu dei 7 níveis à frente de um outro jungler. Mano, pouquíssimos brasileiros jogam e sabem como jogam a matchup de jungler. Pouquíssimos. A única razão de um jungler, às vezes, dar counter é, tipo, matar. Não usa a matchup pra nada. Pra ter prioridade no Rio, pra... Eu tô sendo extremo, na verdade. Talvez tenha 1, 2, 3, 4 junglers do CBLOL que consiga fazer isso. Hoje temos o José, né, da Isurus. Então, assim, essa disciplina, esse querer, faz uma diferença absurda, tá ligado?
Approximately same position, and I would show up, and we would fight, and we would discuss. How did we fight? Why did we fight? How do we fight better? What are we looking for? And then complicated things can exist. Then that's complication. Same thing, 25 minutes in, you're on the fucking mid-wave. You need to all be there. No bullshit. You agreed with your teammates, you're gonna be on that wave mid, and then you're gonna take vision, and then you're gonna do neutral objectives, and then you're gonna... So fucking be there. Show me that you can be there every single game. You got shit on, I don't care. TP to the wave. I don't give a fuck, just be there. No matter what. You have to give up a tier 2 because you fucked up? Your fault. Let's fix it. But show me that you're there. Prove it to me every game. You will be there. And then you can build trust. Because when you trust that everyone will be there, you can talk about how you win. How are we going to kill the enemy team? When we are all on the same piece, my jungler's in front of me, my support's next to me, I'm the AD carry, I'm walking up to the wave, and we are ready to fight. We are talking about who is getting Sejuani ulted and when. We are talking about who is getting Varus ulted. We are talking about what we're waiting for. Are we waiting for someone to poke? Are we waiting for the enemy team to come and give us an angle? Are we starting the objective? Are we waiting for the enemy to start the objective? These are the conversations that can only happen when you know everyone's going to be there without fail. Always. That's what I'm saying. Like, these conversations don't happen, and this is why it's always a fucking mess. This is why, like, oh, we have a 2K gold lead. But it's a fucking mess because you have a 2K gold lead, but the people that are supposed to be there to push the lead, they're doing random shit, man.
Sure.
They're just based on feelings. Like, oh, maybe I can kill this guy on side lane. Whee, let's run side lane. Ah, fuck, we gave up mid power. Ah, fuck, we lost our mid tower. Ah, and it's just like, dude.
It's a shit show.
It's a shit show because people are playing on instinct. They don't have the discipline to practice what is going to happen on stage. And this is why people get lost on stage. It's the same for me. I'm the same. If I'm walking up the mid-wave on a character that doesn't do anything on mid-wave, which, by the way, there's a lot of them. You know, if I'm playing Seth, for example, I'm on the mid-wave and I'm sitting there showing, like, what am I going to do? Flash on the guy's head? No. So what am I going to do? I'm just running around. And then, like, oh, maybe I can. And then I flash in and, oh, maybe that was a bad idea. No shit. Because you didn't know beforehand.
Eu amo que muita coisa do que ele está falando, eu nem preciso dar exemplos, tá ligado? Olha para o chat, vocês estão ilustrando perfeitamente com situações, times, nomes, endereços e CPF.
Job is to sit in a fucking bush. Is to sit in a bush and wait. Someone comes face check me, bang, I own him. That's my job. And that's what I'm saying. People, they make the game so complicated and about these complications instead of just establishing very simply. If you do this, I can do this. If you are walking with me on the mid-wave, I can poke them. I want to walk with the mid-wave. So I push the mid-wave. I'm playing Ezreal. I push the mid-wave. This is what Ezreal loves doing. He likes walking the mid-wave in. He likes to walk all the way. And the enemy champions have to walk backwards. And he will cue them if they try to walk into him and clear the wave. Mm-hmm. And then when they're all the way back there, at their tier 2, right? Mm-hmm. Then he goes into the jungle. And then you have to run into him. And then bang Q in your head. From Fog of War, bang Q in your head. And you're just like, trust me, I played Ornn. I'm like walking into these queues. I'm like, this is not fun.
Ele ilustra como ele fica,
also
né?
agree. He's like, oh, we need to take the next wave first. So we walk this wave in, and then the next wave we take that one under their tier 2. We took the wave, now we go back to the jungle because they don't have a wave to take our tier 1 mid, and then we go to our side, and then they can't walk into us. And in the meanwhile, your engaged players need to understand that they need to also wait for them to come in. Sure. How far do they come in? Which bush are you going to decide to win or lose the game on? That's how it works. And then you'll come to conclusions like, ooh, I mean, this bush, like, I don't know, like, I can only go on their front line. It doesn't seem that easy. And that's how you get good.
Let me. We have to wrap up, but
Sure, go ahead.
I'll ask you one last question: Is when will Whipple stop being a pro player?
I don't know. I'll decide when I feel like it. I do want to win Worlds as a player, so hopefully I'll get to do that. But the reality of the matter is that I think I can coach people as a jungler, and maybe as a top laner if I work really hard. So I don't really consider myself to be. I don't feel like I need to retire as a pro player to help people. Is what I'm saying. So I can still play and help people. As a coach, like I said, I will coach if I get a good opportunity and people need some people just need to be reminded that they can be the best. Because one thing that I really believe in is that over the years that we've had success is we had that discipline. We knew which bushes we were going to win and lose the game on. They walk in here, we fight to the death. How we fight to the death, we discuss. And we know what's going to happen. That is what I would want to teach as a coach. Like I said, if I coach, I'm not scrimming 4 games a week. Fuck that. I don't. Scrimming 4 days a week will happen when my teammates, my players, show me that they are consistent every single game. I want my teammates to create so much structure and such a solid game plan that chaos can exist within that structure. People get creative after you have a structure. That's how it works. If you are just chaos all the time, then you will just flipping a coin.
Yeah.
And flipping a coin is nice when you are playing against a team that's better than you. So that's what I like doing. We're playing against a better team,
Flipar uma moeda, a gente entende
They might not
bastante.
know what's going to happen. They might not know what my champion does really. But when you're playing against a team that's worse than you, there should be no flipping coins. There should be a stable, standard game of League of Legends, and you should play around your best players. Because that's what I'm saying. What makes a good team is the fact that they have more players that are going to perform consistently. Consistency is everything. Chaos is built from that. The reason why people love all my crazy picks and all this stuff is because I have, within the mold of our structure, created chaos.
Whipple, great talking to you.
Lies.
Cara,
Any last words in this interview? I mean,
essa conversa pareceu uma conversa de bar, né, cara?
There is hope. I really believe so. Like I said, I spoke to Brands, and he can explain to me exactly what I'm doing. There was a situation bot. We were losing lane. My bot lane's going to get frozen on. My Rakan died. My Cassiopeia died. I can show you the VOD even if you want. You can pull it up. It's I think it's Fnatic 2021 Summer versus Rogue game 1 or 2. I think it's 2. I'm not sure though. Anyway, I use this VOD every time because I with bot laners I always tell them, like, why do I fight there? Why do I not fight there? My teammates die. It's because I have to. I was someone that always had structure, but sometimes in the chaos, you need to make a good play. What I'm trying to tell you is he understands the game. So other people in the region also understand the game. But the reason why people cannot perform on stage is because there's a lack of trust. Because there is no eyes closed, just playing my own game. I know what my teammates are going to do. This doesn't exist in this region, at least from what I can tell. So we'll see.
But there's hope.
Eu acho que o Bibo conseguiria ficar falando por mais 3 horas aqui.
FlyQuest went from
Numa boa.
being a team that we went from a team that was like decent to we can compete with some of the best in the world.
Sure.
And the reason why that is because the difference is not big. People always try to say the difference is huge. The difference is huge when people do not have a structure. Then the difference is huge. But if you have a structure and you know what you're going to do mid-game, early game, mid-game, late game, the game can always be winnable. So winnable. Like, you guys were like, your players are 2v2 killing people, 1v1 solo killing people. Like, let's rally around that. Let's look at what we can do for that player. Let's come together, help that
Eu
guy.
achei um oponente à minha altura, viu? Isso daí gosta de falar mesmo.
I'm not here to
Eu acho que eu perco contra ele, guys. Eu não sei se eu sou um guerreiro páreo. O Butcher foi levantar a mão pra finalizar e ele continuou. Ele ganharia easy contra mim. Easy, ó.
That's what I want to help with. I'm not here to give you guys solutions. I'm here to tell you the difference is not that big. Stop pretending like it is. I can show you VOD. VOD after VOD after VOD. I can open 200 VODs probably. 200 VODs.
200
And every
VODs.
single game, I can ask you, can you do that? And so far, every single player I've worked with has said, yeah, I can do that. And I was like, yeah, I agree.
Acreditem.
So fucking do it.
Valeu, pessoal.
O Butcher, mais uma tentativa de finalizar, ele continuou. Aí o Butcher disse valeu e cortou logo. Teve um corte abrupto ali, que senão ele ia continuar e continuar e continuar. Cara, eu acho que todo pro player deveria assistir a essa entrevista. De verdade. Eu acho que esse cara, ele esclareceu tanta coisa. E quando eu falo isso, não é nem só pensando no macro, né? Como eu disse antes. É no LoL, no micro, etc. É no todo. É no todo. É no LoL também, tá ligado? Mas é no todo.